I am going to be issuing a complete unironic trigger warning. This episode is not going to be for the faint of heart. This is going to be a particularly dark and depressing and heavy episode of Curse of Strahd. Most Curse of Strahd session or campaigns, from what I understand, have at least a couple of those. I think for the most part, we've kind of, even when the heavy and bad shit has happened, we've kind of, made the best of the situation, made light of things, as it were, to the best that we could, but there's no making light of what's going on tonight, especially with the current state of the world. So with all of that being said, none of what you are about to see is done with the intention of malice or with any sense of revelry. It is necessary for the story that we are telling, and we talked about it quite extensively off screen, so don't think this is just a couple of fucking assholes being nasty online. We are trying to be respectful, and even though it's all make-believe, the feelings that get involved with it, especially given the current state of the state in which both of us live, that being in Texas, we are going to do our best to keep things kind of away from more tell and don't show in a couple of regards. So with that being said, Ted, would you like to tell us what happened last week?
I hadn't even considered the world events going into this.
Until just now.
Yeah, it just dawned on me.
It just dawned on me, and we talked about this all week.
We did. I didn't even... Anywho, back to the recap. I believe we started at the Amber Temple last session. We'd finally made it to the Amber Temple after a long time of hiking up a mountain and getting our ass beat by everything along the way. We moseyed on in, and it sucked. That place really sucked.
It was rough.
I believe we took 5 steps in. Something caught our attention. No, there was a door open to our right, a door closed to our left, so we tried the closed door first, found out there was a wolf in there protecting a bunch of kids, which were the children that the Vistani people that were coming out...
The local tribal folks that had dwelled in the Balanok Mountains for, ever.
Okay. The Balanok tribe people had told us were doing their coming-of-age ritual where they stay a night in the Amber Temple to... show courage. We ended up conversing with them and got enough of their trust that they let us in and called their dire wolf off. And then we talked to them a little bit about what they were doing. They're like, oh, we're not going to stay in this room. They showed us a little crack in the wall that they had come through, so we knew that that was a possible way out if we needed an emergency exit. I believe it was about this time when we were dicking around talking with the kids that Flintlock and his ever-present secret-seeing nose found a loose brick, something that opened a part of the wall that led to a scroll reliquary, if that's the right word.
Sure.
Yeah. A lot of them were dusted, and they were turning to dust in our hands. There was one activated that Alma tried to grab and got shocked for it. Then we had Esmeralda come in and mage hand it, which ended up being a scroll of, I believe it was called Awaken, which we immediately turned around and cast on the direwolf and granted it sentience.
We completely rolled for that table. We had no idea what that scroll was going to be.
Which, just to recap, that spell can be cast on a beast of, I believe, large size or smaller, and it boosts its intelligence to 10 and instantly gains it sentience and the ability to speak a language of your choice, a language that you share, which was common. And then the wolf gained sentience. And it was also charmed by Flintlock for, I believe, up to 8 hours or something.
It's 30 days.
It was a long time.
Yeah, it's 30 days.
So we ended up bringing him along with us, and we told the kids to stay put. Made the mistake of opening the north door because we heard some cackling on the other side of it. Caught 5 fireballs to the face from some flaming skulls.
Yeah.
Damn near instantly died right there. 10 steps into the Amber Temple.
Well, it was 5 totals. It was 5 total. It wasn't 5 at once. It was 2 at once because you shut the first one down.
It fucking hurt.
Yeah. It would have been 3, but y'all shut the first one down, which was good.
Thank God. So we beat them. went skirting about. I believe the next thing we bumped into was, I think it was the amber doors
Yeah, you
that we
found a
ended up.
you found a stairwell after finding some more
Yeah,
like hidden rooms off the path.
more hidden rooms that Flintlock was leading us through. We found a replica of Castle Ravenloft, along with a map of the blueprints, which will be very helpful
And a
considering we got so lost last time. Yes, also very good. Which I believe is the wisdom equivalent of Gore's manual body tome, which is +2 to wisdom every century if you read the book. So technically, at some point, if you live long enough, that's just infinite god tier wisdom. At some point, Gore, if he can get immortality, will become the swollest of boys.
Oh, yeah.
So we made our way down. We found an amber door that we couldn't open, and us being the way we are, we had Flintlock blasted open with this force cannon. Unfortunately, that unleashed a giant cloud of necro energy bad stuff, which hit us all for like 30 HP, and that sucked.
Yeah.
Went inside. Well, no, we didn't go inside. We were like, okay, fuck that room, because we didn't know what else was going on in there. Walked up around the corner, ended up seeing our old friend Rahadin eating a frog. Then he noticed us, and I was like, oh shit, well, here we go. We're going to have to fight this guy. But it turns out he kind of wanted to make a quote-unquote deal, and that he was only in the Amber Temple because he knew that one of the sarcophagi granted true resurrection. And his plan was to cast true resurrection on his sister because, according to him, his sister was the only woman that ever saw Strahd for who he really was. And he thinks if he true resurrects her, that he can present her to Strahd and spare him this cycle of, I don't know what to call it, this cycle of anguish that he's been trapped in.
Yeah.
Which the crew was on board with because they don't really care how Strahd gets dealt with as long as Strahd gets dealt with, so they were willing to run the gamble, and he said if he failed, he'd pretty much be killed by Strahd anyway. So we're like, yeah. So we tied up with him because we were also there looking, Alma was there looking for the secrets to vampirism that her father had mentioned. It was about this time that Gore got hit by a black lightning bolt from a statue and got instantly turned into a zombie. So we ran
real hard.
We didn't see where real hard. We didn't see where it come from. Rahadin told us to run. We scattered. Gore got resurrected as a zombie. We backtracked. Went through some more secret rooms. Found out. Well, we didn't find out later. We ended up finding. We talked to Rahadin. He said that there was a lich in the Amber Temple somewhere, or they were supposed to be, who would know the exact location of what each sarcophagi had. Because Alma ran in there and touched 3 of them and just got random gifts and sold her soul to like 3 different entities. One of which was Celestine, Queen of Hell. So that'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
Got her hellhounds. So Rahadin said we needed to get the Lich so that we could not have to do that, and we knew exactly where to go to get the 2 sarcophagi that we were looking for, which was the True Resurrection and the Vampirism. So we mosey around looking for the Lich. Flintlock, being the little Sherlock Holmes that he is, found a secret room with a chest that was sovereign glued onto the ceiling. So after some finagling, we opened it just to have it shoot a disintegration beam out and annihilate the floor and cause Alma to fall down and knock the wind out of her. Turned out there was another door in that room that only Flintlock could see.
Yeah.
Blasted that open, went inside, and turns out that was the Lich's room, who hadn't refilled his phylactery fast enough, and his memories were gone. So I believe Sai, using the Pearl of Power she had, upcasted her ability to be able to restore his memory. And then his memories came back, and he was more than happy to help us find the things, although he had to dip for a little bit to find some souls to refill his phylactery. It was at this point we found out that the Arcana Law was what shot Gore from the statue. So we had Exanther?
Exathanter.
The Lich. Cure Gore of his zombieism. At first, he just kind of gave Alma control over zombie Gore, and Alma was like, "Oh no, I want him back to original form, please. Factory settings, if you don't mind." Which he did, and then he dipped, like I said, to refill his phylactery. It was at this point that Super Meta Lich came scrolling into the room and proceeded to beat the ever-living shit out of all of us. I believe it killed it killed the hellhounds and knocked the wolf out, and it knocked Sai out before it even took its first turn. So that was fun.
Yeah.
A lot of back and forth with him. We ended up finally getting him down. And then our buddy Xanther came back, and that's kind of where we left off, with him about to show us through the rest of the Amber Temple so we can find what we're looking for. Also, the wolf survived, and we sent him back with the children. I did not think he was going to make it through there. Was that?
A boat's no place for a dog.
Ew.
Dalinok, says Exathanter. There is a sound of magical release, and the seal that was placed on this amber door melts away. You can see the map. I've dropped it down in there. I also dropped all of Castle Ravenloft's map plans that you can review at your leisure.
My leisure. This time I actually have it open. Alrighty.
So the door in front of the lot of you opens. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the wolfie.
Yeah, he can go back to the children. The chillin'.
Chillins. Oh, where is Gore? There's Gore. And Rahadin as well. As you all stride into the room, you can very easily see this entire area is positively stacked with loot. I mean, just absolutely riddled with it. Amongst the piles of gold and silver and platinum, there are plenty of rusted suits of armor and other refineries like a solid gold chariot. And
Jesus.
as you kind of like stop to glance over everything, you can see Flintlock just unable to handle himself, reaching out and like very warily grabbing one of the pieces of gold. And the second that he does, he is lifted off of the ground and he immediately starts screaming, "Ah! Ah! Ah!" Exathanter turns around and says, "That's quite all right. Put him down." And this invisible force sets the gobbo down. About yourself now. Very, very mind. Do not touch. This belongs to me.
Understood.
In he leads you past a broken, fragmented room. Wall, I should say.
Whee.
Until you can see 3 final amber sarcophagi. As promised.
Well, Rahadin, you first.
He examines this sarcophagus immediately to his right, and when he puts his hand on it, he nods. This is what I seek.
I shall find what I seek. Boop.
You make your way to the center of the room and find the central sarcophagi. When you place your hand upon it, you're granted this vision of your ship, the Ebon Rose.
And my ship.
The wood is somehow darker than you even remember. The sails are this ghostly translucent. And when you see your crew, some of them shamble here and there, while others commandingly bark orders. And the second that the words leave their lips, the lesser crewmates set about to do their bidding. we get a view of the helm. And at the wheel is a woman that looks exactly like you, but her eyes are this burning red. Her black hair does not toss in any breeze. It stays down on either side. And when you see the greater image of this ship sailing on a black sea, the only light is the stars all around. And a magnificent fountain of blood the size of a plane erupts in the distance. You feel yourself arrive, and like a dream, you are suddenly before this fountain. You cup your hands and drink from it. And when you come back to, you have this insatiable thirst. You can feel this echoing laughter building behind your heart, climbing up your spine and into the back of your skull.
Alma of the sea, wouldst thou take mine pact?
I will. I made it, Dad. I hope you're proud.
There's a sharp pain. It starts in the very center of your heart. It's so frigidly cold that it feels like it's on fire. And suddenly you feel your entire body wrapped in that feeling. You scream in agony, begging for it to end. And the screen fades to black and says 3 days later.
Uh-oh. I did it, Papa.
In this period of 3 days, it's... I mean, you know that some time passes, but it's not any amount of time that you're familiar with. It feels quite literally like forever. And after this fever dreams again and again and again, you're drinking from this blooded fountain somewhere off in the middle of the stars. When you wake up, your mouth is so dry, it's like sandpaper. There's no one else in the room. It's dark. There's no candle lit. And you are wearing only your tunic.
I will shamble my way out of bed and go stumble downstairs. Need a drink.
You pull yourself out of bed, and in that instant you recognize that you are at the Blue Water Inn in Valaki. You stagger down the stairs, and when you arrive down at the bottom, you can see all of your comrades gathered around the bar, looking straight at you like they just saw a ghost.
Why the long faces, everyone?
We thought you were fucked!
Ah. We've been fucked countless times since we've been here. What's one more, right? Although I guess at least it didn't kill me. I think.
Siri kinda said, well,
Captain, I saw your soul leave your body and ripped it back into it.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I'm pretty sure I need that, I think.
Captain, I'm not so sure that you're the only thing that I pulled back into you.
Oh. You'll have to put it in layman terms for me, you know? Us non-magic folk.
When you placed your hand upon that altar, you just dropped. You were still for a minute, but you started screaming. And Exothanter immediately... I asked him to send us back here, and he did. The point is, I think that whatever it is that you made that deal with took a part of you and replaced it with himself.
Like Strahd.
She nods.
Well, good. Maybe now we can fight that bastard on even footing. Although I can't say I feel much different. I'm extremely thirsty, though. Erwin, can I have a pint, please?
He brings you up like a whole jug of water. The ceramic pitcher is cool in your hand, and when you finish the entirety of it, you slam it down, and you feel the exact same. Bloated.
I didn't really seem to help. Ugh, I drank too much water. I'm so thirsty, though.
Captain,
Did I miss anything important? I think I'm fine. I've been having some hellish nightmares, though. Oh. Something about a bloody fountain in the middle of the stars and just drinking from it. Oh, it was so good, though. Woke up so damn parched. You think all that... Well, maybe because I was dreaming about drinking so much fluid. Maybe that's why I'm so thirsty.
They pour you some wine and hand it to you. Erwin says, maybe that will do you better.
Look.
The wine does not taste like wine.
Uh-oh.
It tastes like ashes. Just liquid ash going down your throat. And you... If you want, you can roll a Constitution save, but otherwise you just spit and cough and retch up this wine.
Yeah, I imagine that's exactly what would happen. Erwin, you know, I've been drinking here for a while, and you know, I love your stuff, but this tastes like shit.
Captain, this is the good stuff. What are you talking about?
Drink this. Tell me that doesn't taste like fucking cemetery dirt.
He takes a sip and then downs the whole thing really quick.
Man, you love dirt.
Ah, that's good wine.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Captain.
Oh god, no. I think he took my ability to love wine. This is the price I paid for immortality.
Erwin's wife is present at this time, and she says, maybe some food will be what you need. I've got some roasted
I'm so
wolf.
hungry I'm thirsty. Hell yeah, let's get some roasted wolf haunch. Oh.
She brings you out this hefty haunch with rosemary and thyme, and all of your comrades immediately kind of perk up. Even Cyric is like, oh shit, that smells good. It is like... It's got this waxy texture. It's like oil and just this nasty, runny, ruddy color that you can like feel on your tongue, that when you just scrape off as best you can, it doesn't come off. When you drink some water to try to wash it down, it's like it does absolutely nothing. The water doesn't taste any way, shape, or form at all, so it's not really like having a negative effect on your palate, but it certainly doesn't do anything to help.
Ugh. I think this one went bad, ma'am.
Everybody just immediately stops and looks at you like you just said something monumentally offensive.
I've said far worse, I assure you.
Captain, this might be the best goddamn meal we've had since we've been here.
On a scale of 1 to Castle Ravenloft, how good is it to you?
If Ravenloft was like a 10, it's like a soft 9.
A soft 9? You know, it tastes like oil. Thick, viscous oil.
Captain, you look so pale. Are you sure you're feeling alright?
Well, I mean, I'm a little tired, so thirsty. And apparently my taste buds are all fucked up, but you know, we should be celebrating. We did it. We found what Dad was looking for.
They all kind of share a look for a second. Sirik says, I don't need to break the Pearl of Power for this. I figured it out. And she incants the spell Greater Restoration. Now that you guys have leveled up and you're level 9, she has access to 5th level spells.
Ooh.
And you feel absolutely no different when the purplish blue fire that she places with her thumb onto your forehead ignites and then really quickly just fizzles out.
Oh, I don't think you had enough juice there, Sirik.
No, that definitely should have worked.
No, let me try the wine again. Nope, still horrible.
Captain, what have you done?
I mean, I did what we came here to do, right?
I don't like
Power
this.
everlasting? Life everlasting?
Maybe if I was able to consult that page, it would make more sense, but we left before I had the opportunity to get it out of the sarcophagus. Fuck! You never hear Sirik curse.
Sirik. Well, there's one thing we haven't tested. Let me just take this here dagger and stab myself through the hand.
There's this uncomfortable prickling sensation in the back of your hand, like you just got a shot.
Yeah, that's new. That's new.
And only the thinnest line of blood trickles out. It's very anemic.
Maybe I'm just anemic now, guys. She says as she slaves her dagger-skewered hand around.
Sirik takes your hand, rips the dagger out, and says, I would have just cured that.
You would have cured what? Oh, anemia? Oh, that makes sense. Maybe it's super anemia. Well, I have to admit, I've been stabbed several times, and that one didn't seem to hurt as much. Also, I feel like I should be bleeding more.
When you look at the wound, it's not healed, but it's just kind of, I mean, it's damaged. It's just kind of there.
I peek through it, kind of look at Flintlock.
It's not actually that severe in damage. It was just a little through it. Wasn't like catastrophic or anything.
I mean, I can see why Dad wanted this. This is pretty cool. I don't feel too different. Like I said, other than just this damn thirst. And the fact that I can't enjoy my food anymore, which is a pain in the ass.
How are you feeling? Says Erwin.
Very thirsty. Actually. Tired, even though I apparently slept for 3 days.
I've been talking to your friend, Esmeralda. She's with her mentor at the moment, but it sounds to me like you got what you were after, Captain.
Well, I make good on my word. I said I was going there to get it, and here we are.
Kind of shakes his head. I beg your forgiveness.
What?
When you asked me for the source of the devil's power, I told you true. However, I did not tell you the entire truth.
I mean, yeah, you didn't mention the lack of taste. I really did like wine.
You have traded a portion of your soul with the death of all things. Captain, you have bound yourself to that power in an irrevocable way. And to fully reap this pact, to seal it, a sacrifice must be made.
Time sacrifice. Like a goat? A pig?
He looks up at you, and he's got these like tears welling in his eyes as he says, "You must sacrifice one whom you love. And then you must die a violent death. This is the same path the devil walked. It is the same for you."
Yeah, that might have been. That might have been nice to know beforehand. I mean, I don't think it would have stopped me, given that's what we're here for. And my father was after the same thing.
You have to understand, Captain, if I thought there was any other way, I would have done things differently.
Someone I love. Well, that's a. Alma kind of looks over at the crew. That's a small list of
They
people.
kind of share a look with each other like, oh shit, are we about to have to draw straws?
I like they would draw straws for me. What happens after I make that sacrifice? And die my horrible death?
In 6 more days' time, you will awaken, transformed, like him. Your power may not match his, but the artifacts that you have collected, and the final, the Sun Sword, he nods, this will be enough. It has to be.
Lord, I hope so. It has been a arduous journey since we stepped foot into these lands. And I'm tired, Erwin. I'm really tired.
When I met you 6 months ago, I never would have imagined that I would come to actually care for you as much as I have, but you lot have come to mean a great deal to me. I've been cast out by my own family, but I look to you now as my new family. And I'm grateful for everything you will do for us.
It goes to you, brother. We're not usually the sort to settle down at an inn, let alone become friends with the innkeep. But you've done us right these last 6 months. Hopefully we can bring this all to an end soon, one way or another. Put that bastard down for good.
And I am ready. Let us go to the lake. We can do it there.
I will see you there.
He nods his head.
You guys, crew, just hang tight. Eat, drink, rest up. We got a lot coming down the pipeline. I feel like the final confrontation is looming ever closer. So study your book, Cyric. Get your sword arm ready, Gore, Flintlock. Make sure you're stocked up on ammo. Try to get into the headspace, because we got a lot of shit about to go down. And y'all have earned it, by the way. Couldn't ask for a better crew in the last 6 months. Well, all my life. Or you've been around since the day my dad picked me up.
He smiles and kind of like shakes his head at you.
You were the
Flintlock.
cutest little potato. I thought we ought to stick you in this stew at first.
Yeah, Dad did mention you tried to eat me, but bygones are bygones. Water under the bridge, as they say. But even Cyric, even though we butt heads on your worldview, no one I trust more. Flintlock, with your amazing investigation skills and that eagle eye of yours, smartest goblin I've ever known.
He beams at you and Cyric smiles.
But you'll take it easy. I'll be back in a couple days once I sort this whole dying horribly thing out. Fortunately, there's just some paths that a captain has to walk alone sometimes. So, drink extra for me. Cheers.
They raise their glasses to you. Before you turn to leave, Erwin says, I would like to say goodbye to my wife one last time.
Erwin, what exactly are you planning?
You said it yourself. You view me as family.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make your sacrifice.
I really respect the honor in that, Erwin, but not to sound too businesslike about it, but you're too valuable to this operation.
He shakes his head no, like, this is the most valuable thing of all. My family, your family. All the souls hanging tethered in the balance. This is bigger than either one of us, Captain. This is the right thing to do.
There's another option. And I've made my choice.
You don't mean...
I do. Sacrifices have to be made. And I need you for the final confrontation. She fits the criteria that you laid out the same. So, just watch over my crew and I'll be back.
He's just kind of frozen. He's... There's...
Fetcher. Take it easy, Erwin. I'll be back in a couple days. And then Alma heads upstairs.
He just... Like, we can see you, like, step away, and the camera's still, like, kind of fixated on him, and he just kind of, like, slumps his back into the wall. Kind of, like, scoots down a little bit. Just, like, stares off into the void. Upstairs, you find Kitty playing with her dolls. She's telling one of the other kids that, her doll is actually better than the other doll because it's not like all the other dolls, and it's cooler and faster and has all of their powers plus more.
Sounds exactly like what John would say about their doll.
And also it's a kitty.
Also, it's a kitty.
And also it's a kitty.
That is adorable. Yeah, Alma walks in and like wraps her knuckle on the door.
They look up at you and she smiles. Captain!
Hey, Kitty, how are you doing? It's been a while. I've been busy.
Kitty's been good. Kitty's been playing lots with dollies. See? Look at Kitty's new dolly. Kitty made it all by herself.
Oh, you made this? That's beautiful. You have such craftsmanship.
Kitty made it out of old sticks and twigs.
Oh. Well, I was thinking, since you've been such a good girl, and you've behaved this entire time that I left you here, I was thinking we could take a trip down to the lake. You know, fish some of that salted fish you like so much, cook, just have a good little sleepover. You can bring your doll, too.
Kitty gets to have fish?
Yeah, all the fish you can eat. We'll catch them ourselves.
She looks to the other kid. Is Davin coming too?
Just us. But you can bring them back some souvenirs.
I'll bring you back more sticks and rocks. We can make you a dolly too. But yours can't be a kitty.
Of course not. There can only be one kitty.
She
But, come on, let's pack your things up. Let's go.
excitedly grabs her things and goes with you.
Mosey passed Irwin on the way down and let him know I'll be taking one of the horses.
He doesn't really respond. All the crew are kind of busy talking to him. They don't really see you leaving.
Let's go get a horse. You ever been on a horse, Kitty?
No. Well, maybe one time a long, long time ago, but Kitty can't really remember. Feels like it was before Kitty was Kitty.
That makes sense. Well, this will be a fun trip. We're going to have so much fish to eat. And Alma picks her up and puts her on the horse and then hops up there herself.
You and
And we ride! Yeah!
ride to the lake. Oh, I have to bust out a map that I haven't used in a while, actually.
Ooh.
It was one of the ones I made.
A very nice lake map.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Ready. I haven't been here in a hot minute.
No. I've been here since you stopped Balaban.
Yep. Fought the giant squid monster.
No. So, you and Kitty arrive on the shores of Lake Zarovich. I just realized that the color for the thing is incorrect because it is stuck in that odd purple twilight.
What's what? Oh yeah, I forgot about the purple twilight.
Oh yeah, everything's like wrapped in that shit. It's like reddish purple twilight.
Fitting. Well, let's get our little campy set up. Brought our tents and stuff. Get the fire going and start fishing.
Yeah, you go ahead and give me whatever check you feel would be most appropriate for a fishing check.
Athletics makes sense.
All right. So 19, you get plenty of fish. Yeah, you find that the fish are, still these kind of weird, malformed, black-meated, not very pleasant fish, but you
She loves them.
cook them up,
They
and
will. Hell yeah.
when she eats them, she seems incredibly pleased. She looks to the one that you've put on a skewer for yourself, just kind of by instinct, and looks at it like hungrily, like, Kitty was wanting to know if you were gonna eat that.
No, I'm not feeling really hungry. You can have it. Eat as much as you want.
She finishes off the rest of the fish, and then, satisfied, she begins meowing and purring and like
Oh,
rubbing her back up against your shins. Kitty loves
how about we
her
collect?
friend.
Oh, give her a little head pats. I love you too. Why don't we collect some sticks and some stones, and you can show me how to make some dolls.
Kitty would love to. Roll a survival check for sticks and stones.
Give me them sticks and stones.
A 16. Yeah, you find ample sticks and stones. There is some soft, smooth ones that she teaches you how to make into a head, like stones that she puts this little like row of sticks around, binds it with, fiber from tree vines that she kind of like cinches down and then, twists it up to give it a little dress made of leaves, and she hands it to you. What's her name? She says.
I don't know. You have any in mind? You're very good at picking names.
Hmm. She sets the doll down for a second and then looks around for something specific for a moment. After finding it, she finagles with something and like turns around so you can't see her. And then after a few minutes, she shows you the doll again, and it's got a hat just like yours. It's Cap'n.
Aw, little captain doll. Thank you so much. It's very pretty, actually.
Promise me you'll keep it forever.
Of course. Look, I can string it up on a little thing I can wear around my neck. That way
Cap'n,
it's always right here.
do you ever think about what this all means? Like, why we're here? In this place specifically.
You mean Barovia?
Kitty doesn't really know where that is, but sure.
Well, I'm here because I came looking for my dad. My dad came here because he was looking for treasure. Where we come from, we do a lot of treasure hunting.
But if you came looking for treasure, wouldn't that make you a thief?
In ways. I mean, if the treasure doesn't belong to anybody, is it really stealing?
Well, no, I guess not. Would you steal from people?
I mean, I've been known to dabble.
That's not very nice.
No, it's not. But, I grew up, I was a little kid like you once, and I had to, take what I wanted just to survive before my dad found me and gave me a better life. Taught me how to fight, cook, and just survive. Sail. We sailed all over Izmira.
What's a sail?
Like you see that boat over there? It's like that, but bigger, and it's like a big blanket, and the wind blows into it, and that's how we move the ship.
You move the ship with blankets?
Yeah, blankets and wind.
Kitty thinks that's funny. That makes no
Okay.
sense.
Well, what about you? You ever aspired to be anything? A life beyond Barovia?
Maybe one day Kitty meets another kitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that kitty's not so mean to me like the last one was.
There's a lot of good kitties in the world. I've met a couple of them.
You're a good kitty, Captain.
Thank you. I try. In fact, I know an island that's full of nothing but good kitties. I've been there once, on my funny blanket boat, as you called it.
Well, do you think we could go there?
Yeah. That's what I brought you here for. I thought you might want to go see it.
Really? She looks up at you, just
Mhm.
like eyes glowing and like the
But-
biggest smile on her head.
It only works if you close your eyes and think really, really hard about how good of a girl you are. Because only good kittens can go to the Good Kitten Island.
I've been the best kitty.
Is that so? Are you sure?
She nods really vigorously, and then she presses the Captain doll into your chest. Yeah, I have.
Well, then why don't we go right now?
Okay. And she closes her eyes as tight as she can.
And I think at that point, Alma will stand up and unholster the flintlock pistol.
Okay.
And we get a resounding crack as birds fly off the trees.
And I think that's a good time for our first break. So, don't go anywhere, anybody.
I have 120 heart rate.
Just gonna have a good cry, and then we'll be
Yeah.
right back. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sticking around after that. That was unbelievably heavy, and I do not want to talk about that any longer than we have to, so moving right along. There's this long, drawn-out silence. And for a moment, all we see is Captain Alma's, like, the back of, from the waist up, the wind kind of tussling in her hair. And then this most insidious, darkest laughter echoing off the surface of the lake. It draws your attention to see 60 feet away from you, floating just above the water's edge, is Count Strahd von Zarovich. His eyes are full of hunger and hate, and when he looks at you, he scowls and says, "So, you truly think that you are the one to usurp me, to take my dark power?"
That I do.
There is a name for fools like you.
And what might that be?
Dead. And he says, Necronomulus.
Oh, that's cheating.
And you...
He just bought a cadaver in my ass.
The lights go out. You're not quite sure how much time passes. Again, it's this strange amalgam, but this time, instead of these weird visions that you were given, it's nothing. It's just black nothingness. You can kind of feel somewhat the passage of time, or at least you are aware that you still kind of are, in a sense. But, like, making out the distinction between what you were 5 seconds ago, or 10 minutes ago, or however long it is that you've been in this state ago, and what you are right now, or what you're going to be in the next however long it is you're going to be in this state, you literally just kind of can't tell. And it's this long, drawn-out period of nothing. Until finally, again, on the shores of Lake Zarovich, you can hear the lapping of the shore. You can almost taste salt on your tongue. And when you open your eyes, your dad is standing above you. And he's got this look of pride mixed with melancholy. He's this big, honking beast of a guy. And he extends a hand out towards you.
Reaches up and pulls herself up with it.
He immediately wraps his arms around you, and this embrace is so warm and comforting. It feels like it washes away every last bit of the last 6 months that you've been stuck here. It's like that day he hugged you when you were 14 and he gave you your hat. It's like that day when you were 16 and he gave you your first gun and let you come on your first raid. It's like that day when you were 18 and he finally told you that he thinks you could beat him in a sword fight if it came down to it.
Times. Well, little man, I did it. Just like you asked.
You got what we came for.
And then some.
That's my girl.
All that's left is to put that undead bastard in his place. Although I guess I'm not much different in the end.
If I had known that what I was gonna get myself into would have roped you into this, I want you to know I never would have done it.
Ah, we both know that's horseshit. You love the call of adventure, man.
He gives you this kind of conceding smile and he says,
Maybe, but if I had truly known the cost.
he kind of like looks up past your shoulder and behind you, like he's like just looking into nothing for a minute. As if he understands everything that just happened to get you to where you are talking to him right now. He says,
That's not something I ever would have wanted for you.
My life's been rough since the day I was born. What made me into the feisty little girl you picked up that day. And now with this, we'll break free of this hellish cycle we're stuck in. And the Ebon Rose will be a name feared across all the seas of Izmira. As well it should be.
Then I think this is it, little girl. It's probably the last time we'll ever see each other.
Well, keep the seat warm for me on the other side, Pops. I'll be there eventually. Although, it might be a long, long time from now.
he kisses you on the forehead and he says, as he wraps his arms around you one more time,
I'll always be with you. In my own.
I know, Pops. Take care of yourself.
and for what feels like forever, you live in this embrace, this warm, accepting, and loving. And then there's nothing. It's cold again. And your eyes slowly roll open. And you find yourself on your back on the cold shores of Lake Zarevich. Your sword at your side. Describe how Thorn looks again for me, please.
I always imagine a scimitar-like sword. Maybe more, jagged towards the edge, like a beast fang, since they were my father's swords. And I like to think that they, change appearance based off their wielder. Since he was the last one, they didn't change much for Alma since she was his daughter. But like a wolf's fang.
You can see that it has slightly changed a little bit. It's lost weight at the important parts. It's still very much in the same shape, the very same structure and function, but it's like with the passing of your father's soul now relinquished, his last bit of unfinished business finally accomplished, the swords recognize you as their true owner and have reshaped to fit your hand. It's no longer a little bit bigger where it was because your dad had these big meaty paws. It's now a little bit more slender and no less elegant, but definitely more shaped now in your hand.
Oh, they're finally mine, Pops.
And that is going to max out the spirit level for your weapons for, so that puts you at 11 spirit points, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Oh boy.
Just a second, my cats are going crazy.
Ba-dum, ba-bum, bum.
I don't know why they're going ballistic like that.
Probably just hungry.
I already fed them.
Oh,
Natalie was like, hey, feed them for me, I want to be home late. So I was like,
gotcha.
okay. You have awoken on the shores of Lake Zarevich.
Well, guess I'll pull myself up and dust myself off.
Your clothes look exactly the same. Your hat is the same. Everything that you had on you is still on you.
Is our horse still around?
No, that thing definitely ran off or got eaten by wolves, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, guess I will quench my thirst before I head back to the inn.
When you take your first step, your knee cracks and you can feel the bone like
Ow.
jam into the side of your leg as it just crumples beneath your weight.
Ow.
When you
Yeah, that fucking hurts.
go to grab onto the ground and push yourself up, you can feel your elbow much the same snap inwards and the jagged bone splinters through the meat of your bicep and your tricep. And then you notice something. That didn't hurt at all.
Interesting. Let me see if I can pick myself up with my other arm.
You go to lift your other arm, and as you do so, you can see this kind of reddish black smoke drifting out of the center of your palm. There's this taste like ozone in the back of your throat, just dripping down. It's the only thing that you've been able to taste other than this sandpaper-like thirst. And you recognize that as definitely magic.
Weird. See if I can, I'm kind of laying here with all my broken bones. Let me see if I can... Let me see if I can stand up on my other leg.
Try as you might, it does not obey you. It seems to break when it makes contact with the ground, much like the
Ouch.
others. And that mist begins to absolutely pour off of your palm. This kind of red electricity ekes out along the outside of your hand and runs down your arm. And when it reaches your neck, you can feel it like biting into you until it climbs all the way up to the top of your head. And then you can feel this burrowing, like it's in your brain, of some most profane trespass. Somebody just barging straight through your mind and into your core like, yo, what up? This is my place.
Like that.
And the voice that you can hear when you're trying to like tell it with your mental voice does not at all sound like what you're used to your own voice sounding like. It's this deeply guttural and raspy kind of,
Stop that. Stop it. I'll destroy you.
and it scares you for a moment because you realize that those were your words, but that was not your voice. There's something in you and it begins to laugh. It's this kind of laughter that comes from knowing that it doesn't matter what games anybody else plays, it doesn't matter what efforts everyone else could put together ever. I've already won laughter.
I see you, Alma. I have watched since you have entered this domain. I have traced your steps, and time and again, I have brought you back.
JJ, thank you so much for the resub. Oh my god, dude. So much love, JJ. Thank you.
Well, any particular reason you did that?
I have seen the aeon of strife you will rout.
Upper.
I have seen the countless souls you will reap for me. Maybe not in my name, but they will come to me all the same.
Whatever it takes to put Strahd down.
He laughs again.
You think he exists for any reason other than that I will too.
He certainly seems to think so.
I could replace him with you in an instant.
I don't think you will, though, on account of all the souls you want me to reap.
Thou art observant.
I try to be.
What will thine do with this newfound power?
I'm gonna make the seas of his mirror run red.
And in exchange,
What was that?
He says, and in exchange. Kind of expectantly, like he already knows the answer.
In exchange.
in exchange, your very soul is mine.
You can have that wretched thing. Never needed it.
The laughter resumes and kind of subsides and fades over time. And you feel your bones beneath the flesh, every last shard of them crawling back into place and cementing and locking. And you have movement of your body fully again.
Ugh. I push myself out of the sand. Guess I start walking.
About an hour later, you make it back to the inn. And it's at that point that you can see a number of your friends gathered around the interior. When you enter, they looked like they were lively as could be. You know, you told them to celebrate, and you know you're gonna go take care of it. You're gonna go do what a captain has to do, and then you know you're all gonna come back. You're gonna come back, and you're all gonna go kick Strahd's ass together. And you know, it's been a few days, so they might have started to worry, but they trust you. Or you thought they did, because when you open the door, you feel all of the energy just leave the room. Like it's just drawn to you, like you just suck all that right up.
Psychic vamp.
The number of commoners in the establishment immediately freeze. And when you try to walk in the door, you feel some kind of force weighing against you, but fuck that force, I'm Captain Alma, I'm gonna go where I want. And I assume that it's not too far of a stretch for me to assume that you would just stride on in anyways.
Oh, you are correct.
Everyone just kind of looks at you for a long moment, and feels like maybe 6-10 seconds or so. And it feels like you're on fire. It feels like your entire body was dipped into a giant active battery where it's
Ouch.
boiling your flesh from the inside. Your hand begins to rot, and that dagger wound that you so recently inflicted upon yourself is the first thing that kind of reopens itself and just kind of falls open. Your hand just splits down the middle. All of your bones shatter like they had just done not so long ago. But you can still will them to hold together. You are taking acid damage.
Oh. Well, I mean, why not just shriek at the top of my lungs in the middle of the inn? That'll give the commoners something to talk about after they're done pissing themselves.
Your shriek kind of snaps Erwin too, and he immediately goes, Alma, please, welcome in, please, welcome in. And immediately, it stops. Everybody around is like looking at the screaming woman, and then they look at Erwin, and the gravity of the situation kicks in all of their minds in an instant, and they all look back at you like lambs before a wolf.
Well, that was unpleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you Captain?
Yeah. Who else would I be? See the hat?
Gore kind of just is sitting there slack-jawed, kind of dumbfounded. You can see Cyric like stir uneasily. She like her hands she's thinking about moving her hand towards her scythe, but she's like, nah, I'm not gonna fucking betray my captain, but everything within me is telling me that I need to kill what I'm looking at right now.
My feeling. Wait, do I even have feelings anymore?
The feelings that you would have at this juncture would probably not be, my friend wants to kill me. It would be, how dare you think that you could kill me?
It is fact. That part of the voice has a good point. I would put you into the fucking ground in an instant. Oops, I said that out loud.
She just kind of like takes a step back, like gets out of the bar stool and like takes a step back, grabs her shield and like puts it up like just in case.
It's the shield screaming.
In her mind,
warning,
yeah. warning,
warning.
In her mind, yeah, it's absolutely screaming that.
Well, no need for all the long faces. Have we been going over the blueprints of Castle Ravenloft? Cal's not going to kill himself.
They all kind of share an uneasy look with one another, and when they look back to you, Erwin says, you might want the... He polishes a silver goblet and then hands it to you.
I thought we already went over this stuff tastes like shit.
No. He like tinks the side.
What?
For a moment, there's nothing. Ted, there's nothing. You don't have a reflection.
Now I see what he's getting at. Oh shit. That's new. But can y'all see me?
They shake their head, yes, he says. But, and he like points to the like glass behind the counter of the bar.
Fuck me sideways and call me Sam. Alma walks up and like rubs her hand on the glass, but there's nothing there. That's trippy.
You look different, Captain.
I'll have to take your word for it, because I clearly can't see it myself.
Your eyes are red. Your mouth is like longer. And you have this hungry look in your eyes, and I'm really scared, Captain.
It's okay, little goblin. Nothing to be scared of. I can't say the same for the commoners.
Are we gonna rob them?
No. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
He looks kind of disappointed.
You're not the captain that I knew.
Alma just grabs the nearest dude and robs the shit out of him.
You grab.
Actually,
few
how do I know? I'm gonna do it the fancy way. I'm gonna use my newfound ability to just tell him to give me all of his shit. So I need him to make an insight check against my charisma check.
Okay. Go ahead.
Where is my... There it is. Wait, wasn't I...
I didn't know which ones you had, like 4 or 5 different expertise. I didn't know which one. I don't know how many you were supposed to have.
I think 4.
Oh, you're supposed to have 4. Holy shit. Okay.
I think by 9. Well, let me double check on that. Anyway, let me roll my thing real quick. Give him the flashy vampire eyes.
Element Rides, thank you so much for the biddies, dude. So much love.
Jeez.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so confused because I'm new to D&D. Well, this is a one-on-one, so it might be a little bit more confusing, but...
Yeah, that'll happen.
That will happen, yeah.
Uh...
He just became a vampire. Also, this is like higher-ish level D&D. This is like level 9, and he just became a vampire.
I'm a vampire.
He's a vampire now. His character's a she, though, so she just became a vampire.
Yeah.
You got it sorted?
Yes, so at 6th level I did get 2 more, so I do have 4.
Okay, so that's going to be in
Make
persuasion,
it-
stealth, deception, and what?
And acrobatics? God, I'm so fucking acrobatic.
That's insane. Okay.
I'm gonna be doing cartwheels all over fucking Ravenloft. Woo!
Alright, so go ahead and roll it.
I did. Into the tower.
Interesting.
It's not worth dying over, my dude.
So, what do you do to try to manifest this newfound strength of yours? This newfound power that you have?
Do it the fancy way. Like, reach over to him and put my hand under his chin and tilt his head up to look me in the eye and just stare at him.
You can feel this kind of coldness in your eyes. It's not unpleasant, but it does get kind of cold. And for a moment, you can see this slight circle start to emanate out of his pupil, but when it reaches like half of his iris, it it's like it's warring with itself, and then it collapses back in, and you kind of snap your eyes back like, that was supposed to work. Why didn't that work? And then you realize how utterly weak you feel. You are holding this man's neck up, and it's so warm and comfortable. It's like the most pleasant hearth on a cold winter's evening, and you get to sleep right up next to it in a big old pile of furs. And it's pulsing
Cozy.
with that. And your eyes are drawn to his jugular vein.
Draw, why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I drink all the commoner's blood? Well, I'm thirsty, so I guess he's gotta die.
Make an attack roll with your bite. Oh, I need to give you a bite, actually.
I need to order plastic fangs. Sit here and click them.
Okay, so we need to give you a
Fanged bite.
fanged bite. Ooh. Oh, I don't want it to have that on it. That's fine. Okay, that is going to be using your dexterity modifier.
Yep.
What is your damage on that?
1d4 plus dex.
1d4 plus. Oops, I skipped. No. Oop, oop, oop. Oop, dex. And it is piercing. Is it magic?
It does not say, it just says piercing damage.
Piercing damage. Okay.
It does force them to make a save against 2d6 necrotic, though. But they get a save against that, a separate save.
Okay. And there you go. And then, that's fine. Go ahead and make that attack roll with your fang and bite. Just roll that into chat.
You get bit. Oh.
An automatic miss. So here's what happens. You feel this uncontrollable urge overtake you, and you lunge forward. At the same time that a blade sticks out, and you sink your fangs into it, like this piece of metal, and you try to tear and rend it. You're so fucking mad that something just stopped you from getting what you wanted.
Yeah, fuck that metal.
And then when you look up at the end of it, you can see Esmeralda holding her rapier.
Where did you come from?
Captain, do not become the very thing you swore to destroy.
That was literally the plan, Esmeralda.
On the innocent people.
What makes you think he's innocent?
Are we going to have a trial? And then you can determine who gets to drink or whose blood you get to drink?
No, because that would be a waste of time. People don't need trials. The trial is, he gets me before I get him. That's how I grew up.
I don't think he can get you, Captain.
Oh, not with you standing in the way.
Please, don't hurt these people.
And why not?
They never asked for this.
None of us asked for this, Esmeralda.
There has to be another way. She looks to Erwin, and he just kind of shakes his head. Very well, Captain. Do what you will.
Thank you, Your Highness. Sorry, Bill, you're gonna die tonight. What? I won't miss this time. I've learned how to bite.
Holy fuck. That's a second nat one, dude.
Let me eat your throat.
You look back to where he was, and you see that he's already out the door.
He outrun me?
Well, you were talking to Esmeralda.
Damn you, Esmeralda! I'll take off after him.
Go into a skill challenge.
Oh my god, if I can't catch your fucking commoner.
It's going to be a simple one, so you only need 3 successes before you get to 2 failures.
Yeah, well, biting him twice should have been a simple matter, too. But I've missed twice.
Somehow.
Swiggity swooty, I'm coming for that commoner booty. I'm just gonna acrobat. I'm gonna be fucking vampiring my way across the rooftops with my insane acrobatic score.
Yeah, absolutely. So you are just leaping from rooftop to rooftop, no problem, lunging after this guy, and that is 1 success.
I'm gonna get you. First, we can throw in some stealth so he doesn't know which way I'm coming from.
Jesus Christ, that was a 7 and an 8, and this is a 21 total. The last one was a 22, and it was an 8.
Oh,
Expertise.
expertise, baby.
Busted. You blend into the shadows like you're not even there. The darkness of the night, it's like a shroud around you, and you wear it so very, very well.
Then we can toss in a deception to pretend to be someone that he can go to for help, and it's me the entire time.
How do you finish this off?
I imagine he just runs up to me going, "Help! Someone trying to fucking murder me," but it's me.
You laugh, I guess, as you pull him into an alley. There is a trickle of blood that gushes out at first and then runs down his neck to form a pool. It's very messy. You have no idea what you're doing right now, and it just tastes so goddamn good. It's like if you've tasted the best wine in the world times 10. It's just the best goddamn thing you've ever had. It's like the meal back at Castle Ravenloft, but it's none of the Ratatouille moments where it makes you second guess all the shit with your fucking arch enemy. Instead, no, it makes you feel justified in every last thing, every micro action that you have taken up until this point. This is the culmination of that, and this newfound power and strength that you feel running down your throat and now coursing through your cold, dead veins is burning like a furnace, and the fire does not hurt.
I like that. Now that's a warmth a girl can get used to. Well, I think I'm satisfied for now. We can go back to the inn.
You make your way back to the inn after having your first meeting. And I believe this would probably be the best time for our next break because it's been about 2 hours. So, well, an hour and 45, so close enough. But don't go anywhere, anybody. We are going to return quickly with more Curse of Strahd. Wait. Welcome back, everybody. Thank y'all so much for being here. We sure do appreciate you. Let's get right back on into it. When you arrive back at the bar, there's no more commoners, for one.
Damn it.
The whole atmosphere has gone from this kind of like homey interior to a kind of cold and desolate shell of what it was just a few moments ago. And none of them, you're not getting the feeling that you're being judged for it, but you get the feeling that that's through great effort on the part of everyone here. Like, Captain just came through and totally killed the vibe with some like heinous violence that none of them except for Cyric and Esmeralda really seem to get. And well, I think you know how Esmeralda feels about it. Cyric has not really said anything about it yet, but she's kind of sitting by the bar. The Gabo is kind of looking at you like, you know, he'd offer you a drink if he knew that that wasn't going to do any good. And Gorgonor is kind of not disappointed, but you get the impression that he's kind of like, what the actual fuck? Like, this isn't the little girl that I helped raise?
You're gonna judge me, Gore? The Butcher of Blackwater? You. Let's not forget how you got that name.
He kind of scratches behind his head.
Yeah. Never drank anyone's blood, though.
Try it. It's quite refreshing. Although I might be a little biased now.
Captain, are you gonna drink any other bodily fluids from people?
No. No, I think it's just blood.
Cause I gotta pee.
That you go pee. Rest
Alright.
assured, I will not be stalking you to the bathroom.
What?
Wow, I believe we have a count to plan an assault on.
What did your father say, Captain, when he saw you?
How do you know I saw my father?
I felt his soul leave this coil. He's finally free.
Mm-hmm. He said that was probably the last time we'll be seeing each other. He said he was proud that had he known what the cost would be in the end, he would have never come here. But, you know, what's done is done.
And what are you going to do with it, Captain? After? She kind of like gestures up, or you can see like the castle on the hill, or on the cliff, like very, very far away.
I think we just go back to what we were always doing. Sailing the seas and taking what we want.
I don't think there's any going back from this.
Why is that?
Things feel different. It's hard to
Well, they are
explain.
different. My heart doesn't beat anymore. I drink blood. Apparently I can't walk inside buildings without melting. So that's fun.
What do you think is going to happen when we beat him? You saw Castle Avernus. Is that going to happen? Are we going to be at ground zero for that?
I don't know. I guess no one knows because no one's ever beat him.
I know.
And you can...
Oh, never mind. The voice in my head knows.
They all kind of like look past you for a second, and you can like feel their gaze shifting onto somebody behind you.
Hello?
You turn to see Exothanter like kicking
Oh.
back on the bar stool.
What's up, my dude?
You look fabulous.
Thank you. It's about time I got a compliment. Everyone's been quite rude today.
I see you freshly fed, too. Wonderful.
Yep. Took me a second to get the bites down, but I think I got it now.
And how do you find your newfound power suits you?
Like a raging inferno that I can never get enough kindling for, so I'm just gonna keep stuffing kindling into it until everything around me burns to ash.
He's like slapping his chest really hard.
That's a good one. I know exactly what.
You take that as his laughter.
What about our friend Rahadin? Did he make it through his shit?
He nods his head.
Yes, indeed. That
Good.
sister of his. Well, I don't really know how that ended. He's very good at shrouding himself. Even my scries can't see him.
What brings you down here?
I thought you might want this.
And he hands something over to Sirik. It's in a scroll. Looks or like a scroll case. She very delicately takes it from him. Really?
I gave you word after all.
Swell guy.
Now, I believe you were discussing something about this castle.
Yes, Sirik here was getting quite curious as to what happens once the Count's dead.
Yes, yes. That depends entirely upon the state of the heart of sorrow at the time of his destruction.
And what might that be? I only heard about it in passing a little bit with one of his wives, who was having us seek it out, but we couldn't find it.
He nods.
It is very hidden. Might I?
And he kind of like extends his consciousness out into the room for a moment before it looks like he finds what he's looking for, and his mage hand like pulls out the maps to Castle Ravenloft and lays them out all along this table in the center of everyone. And it is at this point that we will go ahead and flip on to the castle map. So castle map dos.
Castle map.
So as he's showing you these exterior surfaces, he points to the tower next to the one that you recognize as the belfry.
Okay.
That would be, you see the one with the cap on it?
I see nothing but darkness. Staring into the void. There we go. So, which one was it?
It is the one behind the one with the cap.
Okay. The tallest one?
Yeah.
Okay. I see it.
That is where you will find the heart of sorrow.
And what are we supposed to do with it?
If it is intact at the point of his destruction, all shall be relatively well. If, however, it has been destroyed, it will require a new substitute.
What kind of substitute?
He looks to you, and the burning red dots And the blacks of his eyes kind of roll a little bit as if it's like so obvious, and he says,
You have to make your own blood go inside. Take it for your...
And we can get out of here?
No. No. Then you are trapped here forever.
Got it. So kill him while it's intact.
He will use it as a means to protect himself. I imagine breaking it would mean very little to him in the end, if it meant striking down a rival.
Very well. Thank you for this information, sir.
Say, what's a good lich gotta do to get a drink around here?
The drinks are kind of... But can you taste?
he shakes his head.
Oh, well, then you won't care. Here's a goblet of wine for you.
He takes it from you,
Obliged.
and he puts his finger in it and begins stirring around in the center of it. And after about 30 seconds, he's incanting something under his breath, but it's very, very quiet. He's already got a pretty quiet, whispery, raspy voice. After about a minute, you see a bone start to rise out of the center of it. And he grabs... When there's enough of it sticking out, he grabs it and pulls out bone after bone. It's taking him some time. I would say it's taking him probably like 30 minutes to an hour to do this. And
Hey, Erwin, can we get the next wine pulp free, please?
he just kind of shakes his head like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on here. And yeah, as oh, sorry. As he's finally finished with this ritual, he takes all of the bones and lays them out in this very peculiar fashion. It doesn't really make sense at first, but then when you see the pattern that he's laying them over, it's this strange kind of vision beyond what your eyes can normally see. There's these runes carved into these bones, and when he's laying them on top of one another, these runes kind of intersect and make this bigger arcanological shape. And finally, after another, 10-15 minutes of him placing this back together, he finally has the last piece, kind of like central medallion, and he places it into the center, and the whole thing turns to this kind of purplish black fire and goes into this medallion. He smiles this big toothy grin and hands the medallion over to you.
And what might this be?
The corporeal structure of the metal lich. All the minds and souls of the wizards in the temple, or I came there and encased it in ember.
You want me to, eat them?
He shakes his head.
You will find it will bind to you a structure so arcane, profound, the universe has no choice but to recognize it.
That does sound fancy. Do I just flip it on or something?
Place it upon your chest.
Boop.
You feel... Ooh, percentile vice with a rate of 2. Thank you. Thank you.
What up?
Thank you so much. Much love, you guys. I don't know why my alerts just decided not to go on. That's super lame, but thank you. Thank you for the raid. Much love.
Yeah.
You can feel that fire wreathe around you for a moment. And then in an instant it stops, and the medallion is gone. In its place, all around you are these layers of bones with these runes that trace over and very, very faintly glow with this kind of crimson violet effect. You can feel it like it's attached to your own ribcage. It's an extension outside of yourself. And it has set in a way that will not come off.
Uh-oh. Well, how do I look?
I, for one, love it.
Thank you. True. Fancy new captain garments.
So, this is Lichbone Chestplate.
Fancy.
It is a magic item that I made it, so it's some homebrew shit. I'm gonna have to get some. I'm gonna have to take some time to get it all plugged in and everything. I did not have time to do it today because I had to remake all the character sheets from the ground up. Because for whatever reason, when Fantasy Grounds upgraded, it was like, yeah, you can't level up your characters anymore.
Well, they're much better now, so thank you for that.
Oh, show. Exithanter, before he leaves, says,
If anything, I am intrigued to see how this plays out. I would prefer it if you came out on top.
And why might that be?
he just kind of smiles at you.
Well, to each their own. As long as we don't cross paths as enemies.
The last thing I would want to do is quarrel with you.
I kind of get the same vibe from you, honestly.
He kind of laughs again, that horrific wheezing cackle of his. Where he
Bad
slaps his
bitches recognize
chest.
bad liches.
That causes him to laugh even further. And when he finally settles himself down and stops slapping his chest to force the actual laughter out, he says,
That was a good one. I haven't laughed that hard in ages.
You can see him just like pulling up in a Corvette with like the fucking meme glasses on, like, it's a Xanther, bitch.
he's kind of a Chad like that, yeah.
Power word kill.
Power word kill.
Yeah, I like it. Well, thank you for that. I obviously I hope to come out on top as well, for a multitude of reasons. What happens if I drink his blood?
He kind of thinks about that for a moment.
I imagine you might take that piece of the end for yourself.
You're muted, buddy. Oh, you can't hear me either? Oh, shit. No, I can't hear you. Oh, no, what happened? I think his headphones died.
Oh, we
Oh, there you
we
go.
good now? Okay, that was weird.
Internet. He says, he thinks that you would take that piece of the end for yourself.
Piece of the end. What might that be?
He extends his hand.
Might I have back?
When he plunges his hand into your bag, he fiddles around with it for a moment, and then immediately it's like, ah, that's what I was looking for. And he pulls out this translucent, like, omnispectrumed sliver of light. It doesn't burn you, but it seems as if it is a very being of life itself. It is a very figment, a fragment, if you will, of life.
Hey, he pulled out of my bag?
This shard of Vitea.
No. Sorry, she was eating my pillow.
Oh, it's okay. He says,
This shard of Vitea. This is how you will mesh with the heart.
Alright. Sounds like a plan. Wait, I thought I didn't want to mesh with...
You see our predicament.
Yes. So I have to mesh with the heart. So then it doesn't matter if he destroys it.
I'm counting on it.
I wonder if he knows that. Because that might be his trump card after all.
At any rate, this is the end.
What happens to everyone else here?
what's that?
I was asking him what happens to everyone else. The people who live in Barovia, Irwin, the Vistani, when Strahd dies.
Different answers for different people. When Strahd dies, the Vistani, I imagine, will flee. Leave en masse back to whence they came. The people, their souls will finally be free from this torment. They will be to pass on to my Dark Master, where all souls go in the end.
Oh, is that the guy that's been talking in my head?
He kind of grins at you, like you're finally starting to get it.
Guess that makes us brothers in arms, buddy.
He kind
Brothers
of
in damnation?
he kind of nods his head.
The Crow Kid. I imagine they find themselves free. Free to fly upon the wings and the winds of the cosmic energies.
You hear that, Arya? You can finally go do something.
She's like perked up, listening, like hanging on every word this Lich is saying at this point.
How about you, Irwin? That sound like a good deal?
All of the knowledge that we could gather. Our family might finally have purpose again after this is all said and done. Beyond just the destruction of one man.
What about you, Esmeralda?
I don't know. There's lots of monsters in the world. My mentor tells me that there's a group of them. Back where you came from. That they need a leader. Maybe I'll go there.
Well, you can always hitch a ride on our ship once we're out of here. We can drop you off.
Gabo looks thoroughly nonplussed with that answer. He's pretty sad about it.
Well, we'll work on it, okay? It won't be the end. Speaking of which, while I got you here, my brother in Damnation. I was gonna say my brother in Christ, but that doesn't make sense. My brother in the Dark Lord's power. You know anything about, I don't know, replacing the ability to love in somebody?
That sounds like fey magic to me.
Yeah,
Never
Baba
cared.
Lazenga.
Never cared much for the fey. Babalai Saga. So gross.
Yeah, she really fucking sucks. But she took Esmeralda's ability to love over here away, and that's kind of made her a little cranky, if I'm putting it mildly.
I don't think killing the old bat would do you any good. Unfortunately. You will have to find whatever reliquary she has put it inside.
Oh, maybe we could just rip that memory out of her when we stab her.
Good luck on that one. She's confounded.
Yeah, she really was not fun fighting her the first time.
Death
What?
is not something she abides by.
I guess neither do we now, huh?
Fey magic plays tricks with the truth.
He looks to Sirik.
You should know. That's all you. It's kind of your entire thing. Honest.
She's like, I don't know if I should be offended by that or like.
I mean, I think he's got you pegged, Si. And now that way Flintlock was back in Blackwater.
You said you never tell. I don't like this new captain. She spilled all her secrets. She's trying to take loot. She's no good at it anymore.
Flintlock!
How
I
do you
will
know?
beat your ass.
How do you know you're gonna even get a bunch of people to trust you as their captain if you might just drink their blood at any given moment?
You don't think I can get people to trust me?
I mean, not through their choice, no.
Okay, well, their choice doesn't matter, does it?
I mean, kind of. That's kind of what the whole pirate thing is about. They elect you as the captain. You lead us in combat. We take care of everything else. You know this.
Okay, do you want to be captain?
Fuck no.
Okay. Anyone else want to be captain? Look, we'll do it the old-fashioned pirate way. We'll go back to the ship. Anyone that has a problem with it can duel me. Winner becomes captain.
I don't think that's the old-fashioned way, Captain.
That's the new-fashioned way.
Oh, are we making up new rules now?
Yeah, that's what we do.
Can I have a rule book?
Yeah, what rule do you want?
I want to write about cannons and how to engage in naval combat.
Okay. Dude, I assumed you already were doing that. I thought that's what you were doing at night, unless that was like more of a diary thing.
No, those are mainly diagrams.
Pictures
for
of
bigger
Esmeralda?
explosions and yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's fine. Well, shit. You know what's fair is fair. Sirik, you want to?
What's up?
I said, Sirik, do you want to rule?
She looks from you to Exithanter and says, No. No, but I do want something else.
What's that? Okay.
I want to take the moon.
Okay, yeah, fuck the moon. That's the most pirate shit I've heard all day. Flintlock wants to write books. Let's steal the moon.
That's no fair. That's like way too big.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna compete with that one.
Oh yeah, Gore. We'll get around to you. Make sure you're thinking of something.
Oh,
So far, Sai's got the moon. That's where the bar is.
The biggest booty.
Uh-huh.
Maybe we go down to, maybe we go down past Redtail Cove. down to the pearl. Kick all those pirates' asses till they answer to us.
Yeah, we'll make the seas run red with blood, and we'll own the moon, and we'll have a bunch of books from Flintlock.
I'll write a lot. I'm also
Yeah.
gonna make big fucking cannons.
I do like big cannon. Wait, are we blowing up the moon?
No.
Okay, what exactly do you want to do with it?
I want to give it back to my mother.
What is she gonna do with it?
Escape damnation.
I thought we were embracing damnation, but I mean, if she wants to escape it, that's fine.
Threads have been pulled, Captain. I've seen them everywhere, and not just here, but long before we ever left home. I don't know what happened, but that world is doomed. We can't just go back and things be the way that they always were. We're on a time limit.
Set by who?
Someone named Talia.
Can't say I know her. Never heard the name.
She took something from a very important place to Esmira. And that world is going to collapse, and she is going to claim it for her own. So we can't just go back and stay there. We have to find a way out.
Ooh. Or something like that. I assume is what you're getting at.
I'm sure my mother will let us stay there.
You think your mother and us will get along?
Who's to say? She kind of gives you a weak smile.
Well, I guess we'll cross that bridge or burn it when we get there, right?
She nods.
Okay, so we've got big fucking cannons, moon, and fuck all the other pirates.
Pirate base. We gotta take the pirate base.
We'll take the pirate base. With the big fucking cannons and the moon.
Sounds like we're in agreement then.
And then Xanther, I guess you're just gonna do what liches do.
Oh, I'll be long gone by the time you lot escape them. You see, leaving from there will be much simpler than leaving here.
That makes sense. Hey, Flintlock, you want to be a vampire?
No!
Okay, just checking. Although we're gonna have to do some experiments. You know, I gotta get a good grasp on this thing. I'm a little baby vampire, as we saw with my first attempt at feeding. How are you with dissecting, Flintlock?
Medicine's never been my strong suit, but it works better if they're dead.
What if they're not dead?
Usually they scream and flail too much. It gets really messy.
I mean, we'll worry about that later. Once we get the gist of it. But I guess we stand at the end here. On the precipice of everything. 6 long months.
What do you think? What do you think it's gonna all culminate down to?
Probably a lot of stabbing.
You don't think he's just gonna, like, you know, come down by himself?
Part of me wants to say no. but he is a cocky son of a bitch. But he does have his 4 wives. We don't know what happened with Rahadin, and Balaban's back, so we'll probably have it cut out for us.
We're gonna die.
You can hear this like very loud gulp escape his mouth.
But nothing left to do now but do it. More or less.
I've been thinking about what that Vistani woman said. Where we'd meet him for the final showdown.
Mm-hmm.
He points to the section in the left next to that little tower where there's that kind of like few arches of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Right in there. The court of the Count. Where we fought the Watchers.
His fancy throne room. Well, first we gotta get our hands on the Sunlight Sword. Then we can ram it through his stupid fucking chest.
That is gonna be a true motherfucker.
And he starts flipping through the maps. Boop. You see it?
That looks like a motherfucker. I see a lot of things.
You can't see any of the dots though, right?
No, there's no dots.
Good deal. Okay, so
This is the lowest level.
he points to the little alcove closest to the perspective.
That's Strahd's grave.
He points to the one in the middle,
His mother and his father
and then he points to the far one.
and his brother, Sergei. That's where we'll find the sword.
Then there we shall go. And then up from there to finish this once and for all.
Erwin says, if you have any unfinished business, now'd be the time.
Yeah, I guess we still do owe you your wine gems, if I recall correctly.
Kind of shrugs.
Well, sir, you got your page, so that's that settled. We still need to fix Esmeralda, but I don't know if we're gonna get that done in Barovia or not. Well, nothing left to do now but rest up and make plans. It ends one way or the other. Either he dies or we die.
They all kind of take in what you say.
Come to this.
And I think that's where we'll probably end the session.
Yeah, I think next session might be the finale.
It might take us more than one session to get through the castle. It's big.
Yeah, it's big. I mean, like, we'll probably start the assault on the castle.
Sounds good. But yeah, I would say the castle will take us anywhere from like 2 to 3 sessions, I imagine. Because it is big, but who knows? Maybe we just go ham and somehow finish it in one, but I doubt it. I don't want to skip through anything. It's big. It would not bother me at all to take multiple sessions to get through it and do it right. All right.
Sounds good.
Well, thank y'all, everybody, for being here. So much love. Much love to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all. Yeah, I guess we don't really have too much in shoutouts. Let me find somebody to raid into real quick. I hope that was fun for y'all. I know that the beginning there was incredibly dark and really fucking heavy, and still kind of sad about it, but I think the rest of the session is a lot of fun.
It ain't easy being a vampire.
It's very true. And an easy being vampeasy. Alright, so we are going to be raiding into Everyday Superhero Cast. That's Julian. He's a friend of the channel, friend of the show. Oh, Aeon with the raid of 5. Vincent, what's up, buddy? Oh my god. What timing indeed. So nice to see you. Thank you for the raid, dude. Oh, thank you, thank you. Guys, check it out. Vincent, that's Aeon Bar Cartography. Fantastic person, fantastic streamer, and also unbelievably fantastic map maker / cartographer. Make sure you check his stuff out. I didn't really get to feature any of his work in this session, but you will be seeing until the end of Curse of Strahd, we're going to be playing in maps that Vincent made, because I set up everything in the Castle Ravenloft to use his maps. We are just looking at the blueprints right here, because I want you all to see the maps when it's the right time for it. And it's beautiful, and they're wonderful. So make sure you check that out. But thank you, Vincent, for the raid. All right, everybody, sit in tight. We're going to raid into Everyday Superhero Cast. Much love to you guys. I am not streaming tomorrow or Wednesday. I don't think I'm going to be streaming on Thursday unless I have something coming up, but I don't think that I do. I'm pretty tired. I had a really long weekend, and like I just started teaching again today, so your boy tired. But yeah, full schedule this weekend, starting on Friday with Saints and Sinners at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Blood War on Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then Lancer at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then on Sunday we are doing a one-shot. It is called The Birthday of Lady Shirai. It is in the systems called Houses of the Blooded, and it is going to be ran by our good homie Andy, Lost Haven Art. So you don't want to miss any of that. And then, of course, next week we kick off the grand finale. Well, maybe not the grand finale. We kick off the finale sequence of Curse of Strahd, Rise of Alma.
Finally made it.
Yeah, then we might take some time off. We might take like a month or so off. Maybe we'll see how we feel, just so I can get campaign stuff like together. But I know that Jihan is ready to get in, and I'm ready for him to get in here too. So love you guys, and we'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.
Bye.